Alright, creatures of the night, we finally got all the details we need for the AEW Continental Classic tournament. Now, I wanted to do a video on this a couple of days ago after the media scrum, but I won't lie. After Tony Khan spoke about the Continental Classic a little bit more into details, I felt even more confused and had more questions before he actually started talking. Now, I did try looking at other YouTubers talking about the Continental Classic to see if things make a little bit more sense, but to be honest, no one really had as much information as they do today. Today, we finally got as much information that we need. Earlier, AEW had a selection special where they actually went into more details about the tournament and also the participants in this tournament, as well as the first 5 matches being announced. This is going to be really interesting. Now, what happens when you win this tournament? Before I even get to who's in it. So what it is that for the next 6 weeks, we have 2 leagues. We had a gold league and a blue league, and we have 6 wrestlers on each of those leagues. And by World's End, we will have one person from each league at the finals. They will go at it, and they will end up winning the tournament and winning the AEW Continental Championship. Not only are you going to win that, but Eddie Kingston a few days ago put on the line the New Japan Strong Openweight title and the Ring of Honor World title as well. So whoever wins this will be a Triple Crown champion. Tony Khan says these titles will be unified. So that's where things get a little bit confusing. So now you are essentially the champion of all 3 of these promotions, and you'll be able to defend this title at all promotions. I have no idea when it comes to that situation. Personally, I do believe that the Ring of Honor title should not even be in this foolishness. If it were to be something else other than the Ring of Honor title, I think this would have been okay. Ring of Honor is not really in a position to have a champion that will not be participating full time at the promotion. Most of their champions are not even on Ring of Honor, so I don't think Ring of Honor should even be in this situation. But it is what it is. Tony Khan already put the pen on the paper and made this thing official. So let's talk about who are going to be participating in this tournament and who's on each league. So the tournament consists of 2 leagues, a blue league and a gold league. In the gold league, we have Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Rush, Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, and Jay White. We also have in the blue league, Bryan Danielson, Andrade El Idolo, Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, Eddie Kingston, and Daniel Garcia. So that is really interesting. So for each league, these guys will be going against each other. Now, there are some rules here. So we do have a 20-minute time limit for these matches. If you ask me, I would push it to 30. There is 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and absolutely no one can be ringside, no interruptions whatsoever. Do you hear that, Jay Lethal? Jamal, do you hear that? No one can assist you with a win. So that does make things a little bit more interesting for this tournament. So all the wins or draws, whatever it is, these matches should be ending up clean when it comes to this tournament. Now, I am surprised to see that we don't have that. These people that are in this list are a little bit more established. We have Daniel Garcia being the youngest one in here. So interesting enough, we don't have, people like Wardlow to be in this. This is something that would have been great for Trent Beretta to be on as well. Since he's not on here, maybe he might win the tournament for the Ring of Honor TV title. Who knows? So I was kind of expecting to see a little bit of a mix of established wrestlers. So for the most part, they are. When I look at all the people here, for me personally, I see Swerve Strickland. I want to see Swerve Strickland take the whole freaking thing. That would be a really great thing for him. I know a lot of people would prefer to see him shoot straight up for the AEW world title, but I just don't see that happening as of right now in terms of MJF giving up that title at any point. We're probably going to have to wait until maybe close to the summer before MJF might even give up that title. And maybe Swerve Strickland would be that next person if AEW played their cards right. So the first 5 matches have been announced. So tonight, we'll see the Gold League. So we're going to see Rush versus Jay White, Swerve Strickland versus Jay Lethal, and Jon Moxley versus Mark Briscoe. Now for Saturday on Collision, we are going to get Daniel Garcia versus Claudio, and we'll get Eddie Kingston versus Brody King. Now that leaves us with Bryan Danielson not yet being in the tournament, at least within the first few days. So Bryan obviously still had that injury of a broken orbital bone, which is really surprising as to how he made it to this tournament. So I guess they're kind of trying to give him a little bit more time to heal. He already has surgery. I just don't understand why would he be in something like this. So if once he's in, he'll be going against Andrade El Idolo, and most people don't know this. But the injury that he sustained with the orbital bone break was not from Okada or Orange Cassidy. It was from Andrade from the Collision a few days before that Dynamite. So it's interesting that they're going to revisit that and have these two go at it again. And that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, because it looks like we have Eddie Kingston or Bryan Danielson. They look like the one that people are projecting to win this whole thing. But like I said, for me, Swerve Strickland is the one I want to see make it all the way to the top. Personally, I don't really care for these types of tournaments or whatever, because I think AEW do it too frequently. And when in doubt, they move to going towards tournaments for a winner of some sorts. And I just feel like it's a little outplayed. But this is the first of its kind in AEW, so I do think that will make things interesting. I wish Ring of Honor title was not in this, but if that ends up helping Ring of Honor somehow in the future, which I don't necessarily see, then more power to them. Who knows? So on Saturday night, they're obviously going to be the Survivor Series War Games pay-per-view. We also have Collision on Saturday as well, the usual time. However, Rampage will not be on Friday. Rampage will be on Saturday, the hour before Collision starts. So that would be 7 Eastern time. And then Collision starts at its normal time. I would actually like to cover both of those things. I'm a little bit more interested in what's going on with AEW really compared to WWE, but I do want to cover both of those shows, so I'll see how I could do both maybe at the same time. But either way, I do feel like things are being interesting. And in terms of Rampage not being on Friday, there is a hockey game that's going on that will be running during that time that Rampage would normally be on. And I've said this a million times that TNT will prioritize other sports before they do pro wrestling. So normally when these games come on, we will see Rampage come on like super early in the day, or maybe the next day, or whatever the situation is. So with that, I could totally understand why Rampage will be airing before Collision. They did try this last Friday. They actually put Collision first and then Rampage after, and that actually really hurt the ratings. So Rampage had like 100,000 so people watching, while Collision had over 200,000 people watching, while 2 million plus people were watching SmackDown. So, personally, I don't really care so much for the ratings, but AEW is going to have to figure out how to make things work if ratings do matter to them. But I do feel like this tournament is going to make things a little bit more interesting, and it's going to bring a new title. And let's see what will come of the person who actually wins this whole thing, and what will happen with their career. So go Swerve. I hope you end up winning this whole thing. At least win it for me. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I'll be back with my review of Dynamite later on tonight. Bye.